Oh, 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 goddamn, oh. Goddamn, Porsha done sent me the goddamn flowers up in this mug. Look at these things. Okay, I like it. I love it. Oh, oh, and you do it. And you do it. Ooh, and they smell so good. They smell so. Do it. You gotta, and when you get a peach, you get some flowers from your best friend. You get a peach, you get the flowers, and you then go in. Ooh!
The social media behavior of Shamea Morton, star of Real Housewives of Atlanta, in the week following the airing of part 2 of the reunion has been extremely depressing. In addition to being knocked out by her old best friend Porscha Williams, she has also been knocked out by Judith Lieber, a luxury brand that is defending Drew Sidora and stating that her bag is authentic. Let's examine the consequences of the second reunion of The Real Housewives of Atlanta in season 16.
She doesn't believe we're as cool as we used to be. And yes, that's true. I mean, you know, it's when you come on the show and you have certain expectations, and then things seem to turn on.
Welcome back to my channel, the premier destination for entertainment, reality TV, pop culture news, music, and much more. To ensure you don't miss any breaking news when we go live or upload, please hit the notification bell, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 16 Reunion Part 2 was recapped yesterday, and since then, there has been a lot of fallout. The version that aired on Bravo and the one that aired on Peacock differed in that you were able to view the receipts that Porscha shared during the reunion, which included a video of Shemea receiving flowers congratulating her on her peach. I'm just going to reiterate some of the things we discussed during our recap regarding the receipts. Then yesterday, a lot of things related to this reunion were unpacked. Let's talk about Shemea versus Drew before we move on to the Porscha and the Shemea of it all. This fight seems pointless and started in episode 1, but it just went south, especially for Shemea, because everyone kind of likes Shemea. What's wrong with Drew, in your opinion? It doesn't appear to be a significant problem. And Shemea kept harping on the 5 languages even during the reunion when there were a lot of lies that she could have likely brought up about Drew. We all thought, okay, this is weird, as she continued to insist that Drew might have had this fake Judith Lieber bag. Again, there are a lot of lies that you could have exposed, such as the Michael Jordan lie, but you went ahead and brought the phony bag to the reunion, believing it would land, but it didn't. Shemea, however, wasn't finished. She claimed on social media that Drew's bag was unquestionably a fake. Regarding the bag, Shemea shared this on social media yesterday, tagging Drew and claiming that he was the one who provided the phony receipts. Since we discussed this yesterday, one of the items that Drew shared was her receipt from Burr Goodman for the Judith Lieber bag that she had bought. In addition, she shared a receipt for her song. That's what Drew posted yesterday. Shemea then posted her own receipt on social media, presumably stating, "Do a door with them fake receipts. Sis, that was a pretty bag." I also have the knockoff version, as you can see.
I told y'all so. I was right. This whole issue between Porscha and Shemea is just a storyline. Okay, maybe. Anyway, today is Shemea's birthday, and Porscha decided to take to her Instagram to wish her happy birthday. Yes, Porscha, I still saw it despite being blocked. So Porscha posted this photo of the two that have been friends for a very long time on her social media, wishing her bestie, happy birthday, Shemea Morton. I hope you get everything your heart's desire. You deserve it. So Shemea responds. Shemea puts the, almost crying face emoji saying, this made my day. Thank you, Porscha. I appreciate that heart emoji. This comes after Shemea said on Watch What Happens Live that she's basically done with her friendship with Porscha and she's leaving it in Porscha's court to come to her. And maybe this was Porscha's way of coming to Shemea.
After displaying Drew's Akira bag, she displays Judith Lieber's actual JL bag. Judith Lieber stepped in to defend Drew after she initiated this. Drew reposted this, as you can see. One of the hot thick chicks asked Judith Lieber why, "Is this a Shop Akira bag or yours? These pictures will probably be gone before the sun rises." "This is the Judith Lieber Couture Martini Cosmopolitan bag," Judith Lieber replies to this user. Drew naturally reposted, adding, "Thank you, Judith Lieber NY." Additionally, she tagged Shemea, "Please accept this loss, Shemea Morton, and let's go on." You can tell that Drew understands the Housewives game because she is still open to moving forward with Shemea. She simply says, "Let's move forward, girl." It's also superfluous that she has such a tender, forgiving heart after this woman has been pursuing her since episode 1. I agree with her that Drew's character is demonstrated by the fact that she still has a heart open to Shemea. Take this L and go on, Shemea. Though you felt like you were absolutely correct, you ought to have accepted the season's loss and moved on. But her belief that I'm always right might be a Taurus trait. I am never good. This is the Taurus's stubborn side. Keep in mind that Drew can advance with these 2 Tauruses. Girl, just accept this loss and let's move on, she says. To be honest, Shemea, since Mercury is in retrograde today, you should have simply accepted this loss. There is less communication than ever before. Yes, it's a true Nicki Minaj. On our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap from yesterday, I showed you some of the social media jabs that Porsha and Shemea have been making all day. Just to give you a brief recap of what was happening, Porsha shared her receipts after Porsha noticed that the Bravo version did not include the video footage she shared during the reunion. However, the Peacock version, which is longer and uncensored, did include the video footage of Shemea receiving the flowers. And she honestly said, I don't know if you guys saw the video of Shemea receiving the flowers. This is precisely the reason Shemea isn't a good fit for this show, I thought. She just makes me cringe. So embarrassing. Anyway, Porsha, I still see your post even though I blocked you, much obliged. Porsha captions her photo with this: Roto and scene receipts from reunion episode 2. She states, I suppose you didn't see the Peacock version. It wasn't shown on Bravo. The first slide. The first wedding of Queen Shamea Mwangi as a bridesmaid. Location, I'm by her side. Atlanta. In reference to the interview Breakfast Club, George's second wedding took place in Africa. After Shemea said, I only had 1 wedding, but obviously she had 2. Many people in the comment section said Porsha needed to know the difference between a wedding and a dowry ceremony. Regarding that, I've seen conflicting information. No, according to some, that is a wedding. No, that isn't, according to some people. But in relation to this being the wedding, Porsha is dropping another receipt that we need to discuss. Slide 2. Lie number 2, Porsha says. I gave my best friend Shemea flowers to celebrate her joining RHOA. She thanked me in a video and I called her to congratulate her. I also wrote a long caption on her Instagram post. Queen Mwangi, a full-time housewife and peach holder, is celebrated with 4 slides of peach photos in an interview with reference candy. According to Shemea, I merely congratulated her over the phone. The matter is resolved.
You were very emotional during the commercial break just now.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is, what I thought was my real friend for years. It's like a relationship. It's not something that you can just get over overnight.
Yes.
And I know people are like, oh my gosh, Shemea, wake up. Oh my God, but y'all don't understand. Y'all haven't been in this friendship. Porscha's somebody that I felt like was my sister. So
I think she still is your sister. And I think you guys are going to get past this. Okay? Yes.
Oh my God, I cried too much.
You're okay.
She adds this PS later because Shemea stated this on social media. In response, Shemea reiterates, I had 1 wedding that was held in Nairobi, Kenya. Upon revisiting the video footage, it is evident that there was a problem at the time. When it comes to Porsha discussing this wedding, this is where I'm not finding it landing. The fact that she did not attend her traditional African wedding in Kenya at the time was a problem. Back then, there was a problem. At this point, I don't think it matters that we're still discussing this and arguing over whether the doughy situation was a wedding or not. Shemea obviously wanted you to go to the wedding in Kenya. However, Porsha states, I have a health issue. In a flight, I can't stay down that long. But she flew, didn't she? Anyway, I'm just stating. I have a question regarding this medical condition. She and her ex-husband were also taking a plane to Nigeria. All right, though. Shemea then states, once more, I had a wedding that happened in Nairobi, Kenya. You went to my dowry ceremony, which was held in my mother's backyard. Second, the week before we started filming, you sent me flowers for my birthday. It had been more than a month since I had my peach. All I said was that we didn't celebrate. You can keep your phony friendship and your phony receipts. Although you claim that I was attempting to undermine you, it's absurd that I can be viewed as your lapdog for working so hard to write for you. Make it logical. You've been looking for an excuse to break off our friendship ever since I got my peach. You are amazing. At the reunion, you still felt like her lapdog, though. I'm straight, though. Therefore, because Porsche had more receipts than Shemea, the dispute between the 2 companies didn't end there. Let's see what Porsche had to say about the wedding then. Again, this is a solid receipt, but I don't think I'll be landing it. This is a screenshot from Shemea's account, which Porscha reposts. She writes, beautiful Kyoyu wedding, hashtag receipts posted in 2017. In 17, as you can see from the caption, Shemea states, I'm going to butcher these names because this past weekend was my kyorasia. I'm sorry in advance. Dowry and traditional Kyoyu or Kyoyu wedding ceremony, she says. It had a lovely appearance. Numerous members of our family and friends were present. I was named Mumbi by my father-in-law. The Kyoyu people considered her to be their mother. Our Western ceremony in Kenya in July is something we are eagerly anticipating. Porscha thus draws attention to the passage that mentions the traditional Kyoyu wedding ceremony and dowry. I am receiving the receipt. However, it's important to remember that Shemea complained about Porscha's absence from her wedding in Kenya a number of years ago. However, the receipt is getting lost, and I believe that Shemea, you ought to have just ignored it. Don't bother. Whether she went to the wedding or not should be up for debate. Simply put, it's not landing. However, I'm also beginning to comprehend why Porscha has been able to thrive in this reality TV industry. Why did she become famous in this reality TV industry while you didn't? Despite how often we saw you on Real Housewives Atlanta, you were always a great friend, but you were never someone who people pleaded with to come back. I acknowledge that when the first episode premiered, everyone was giddy with anticipation for Shemea and asked, oh my gosh, why have you been keeping Shemea away from us for this long? This season demonstrated why. Whew, it is depressing. I'm aware that some people believe Shemea shouldn't return for the upcoming season. Shemea didn't seem likable, so I genuinely believe she shouldn't return for her own sake in the upcoming season. She came across as a liar, petty, and jealous. Since I didn't think of Shemea as the liar during the season, I wasn't prepared to be staring at Shemea at this reunion. I said that we had a lot of liars, but we added Shemea to the group of liars, and that Shemea was really leading this alliance. I understand too. On this show, alliances are constantly formed, but never revealed, and that's exposed now. And I'm kind of judging you for everything you did during this season. Britt, you ought to have attended the reunion. Most likely you would have received some sort of vindication. Guys, I'd like to know how you feel about all the receipts that will be released following the reunion. Has this increased your interest in the second part of the reunion? Do you anticipate the third installment of the season 16 reunion of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Let's carry on the discussion in the comment section. To ensure you don't miss any breaking news when we go live or upload, please hit the notification bell, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. www.clit.subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you watching.